Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So thank you for welcoming us here, me and us. Appreciate it very much. And I'm aware, can you hear me okay? Is the sound all right? Yeah, great. So I'm aware that at this time, with the elections coming up, there is quite a lot of anxiety and stress in many people. Probably not in everyone here, but in many people. And part of that is that we have a certain amount of control, but we don't have ultimate control on how all of that turns out. And that feeling of not having control can feel scary. And if we're not careful, if we're not mindful and kindful, the mind starts to run into the future scenarios, and creates all kinds of fantasies, scenarios, movies of what may happen. And so we can do this, this happens anyway quite often, I think, for people. The mind jumps into the future. It's a particularly charged time right now, but this is what the mind does. It jumps into the future, starts creating stories and ideas and kind of little movies about what is going to happen. Or it goes back into the past and glorifies the past, or regrets the past. And it can be that much of a person's life is spent between these two, I want to say places, but they're really ideas. The past and the future. And one of the reasons that we spend so much time in the future and in the past is not being really comfortable in the present. So if we're really comfortable in the present, there's nowhere better to be. It is the most wonderful place. Even when things are difficult, to be fully here and fully present with what's happening, it feels good. Even if what's happening is intense, is challenging, or if it's wonderful, or if it's just a bit humdrum, bringing presence to what's happening, it's kind of a power. There's power there. But we can't always find our way back to the present and rest here, dwell here. So when I first started to meditate, well, actually before I started meditating, I recognized that I didn't like being here with this one that I woke up with every day and spent the day with and went to bed with. This one wasn't a pleasant experience. And I didn't really know why, but I knew I wanted to distract myself from that. So I had a lot of quite successful distractions. Not great, but successful, and for temporarily. And then when I started to meditate, it became clear that in here, this place here was not a nice place to hang out, and needed some work doing, some renovations, some clearing out, trash, and airing and redecorating, you could say, inside here. And so I was just reflecting on a vihara, actually. So we live at Pārāyana Vihara in Port Townsend, and Pārāyana means the way to the beyond. So that's pointing to the path to liberation. And Vihara is a dwelling place, a place where you live. And in a way, each of us has a Vihara here, our, what we call me and mine here. It's our Vihara. And so just to check in, how is it in here? What's it like to be here, to dwell here in your own body mind? And is it easy? Is it a place you like to come back to? A place you like to hang out in? Or is it cluttered? Is it full of junk? Is it are there boxes of unopened regrets and fears in there? Is there space? Is there some fresh air blowing through? Or is it dense and a little dank inside? So just to check in with yourself. And whatever you find, it's all good, because none of it is solid and fixed. So before I started practicing, it was a very unpleasant place to be. I'd do anything other than be fully here with what I could, with the uncomfortable and sometimes painful experience of what I experienced as being alive. It was not easy, edgy. And fortunately, I didn't have the option of just carrying on with my not so skillful distractions forever. I stumbled across the Dhamma, and the Dhamma pointed me to the truth of change right here, right now. That what appears to be fixed and solid and me and mine is a process that's unfolding right now. And because it's a process, it can be influenced. And if it was stuck, if it wasn't possible to influence the process in a helpful direction, then I probably wouldn't be here. I certainly wouldn't be here as a monastic, and I may not be here as a living being right now, because to be stuck, is the worst thing. It's a very painful place, and the sense of self tends to go that way. It tends to move towards stuckness, solidity, certainty. It wants certainty. The personality seeks certainty and acceptance also, actually. It seeks to, the sense of me and mine, it's always looking at, is this all right? Am I okay? Do you like me? Are you dangerous? This kind of stuff. It's always checking things out in that way. And it has a sense of permanence and solidity. And as we continue to practice and explore this process of being alive, and explore how we've got to where we are right now, and open up to the potential of this life, which is quite beautiful and remarkable, the potential of any of our lives, of human life. Once we start to open up to that, to get curious about that, to be interested in that, then the solidity starts to break up. And gradually what was a solid, fixed sense of self becomes more spacious, more responsive, a little bit more fluid, more attuned to nature. Nature is changing all the time. You can watch the seasons right now. You can watch the leaves falling, the wind blowing, the waves lapping or crashing. So this is nature. It's always changing. And we are nature. This body is nature. It belongs to nature. It abides by the laws of nature. And the mind is nature too. So our mind, our body we can take care of and appreciate, befriend. And our mind needs guidance. So the mind will easily go back into contraction, into fear, into doubt, into confusion, into trying to find some nice thing out there that's going to make it feel more complete, or into trying to get rid of anything that's uncomfortable. So the mind will do that. And it needs guidance. So when we guide our attention to come into the present, we see what needs to be attended to. We see if there's a lot of, we see if we're carrying a lot of regrets that need some care and letting go. The past is the past. And to have that relationship of regret with the past is like holding on to a sense of wishing things were otherwise. And there's a certain aversive quality to that. I don't want it to be, I wish it wasn't, I wish it hadn't been, if only. There's a certain aversion in that. And if we're looking to the future, hoping, wanting, desiring, clinging, then there's that, that unwholesome relationship to the future. Hope, maybe not so much. Hope is sort of a little bit on the edge. It's got some wholesome and some not so helpful, depending. But wanting and clinging and worrying, and then we're creating an unwholesome relationship with the future. So we don't know what the future is going to bring. And we don't have to hold on to the past. Sometimes we need to clear some of the past out, some of the residues of the past. We have to clear that out. Sometimes we have to ask forgiveness sometimes and offer forgiveness and allow mistakes that have happened and allow ourselves and others to move on. So making peace with the past. And with the future, we don't know, cannot know what the future holds. And there is a certain element of faith in trusting that really being present and taking care of the present, and not just being present without any discernment, but being present and seeing, what can I bring to the present moment that might be furthering. Sometimes it's going to be metta, kindness. Sometimes it's going to be a sharp edge of discernment. Sometimes it might be patience. Sometimes it might be hard work in clearing out some difficult stuff. Sometimes it might be exercising, taking care of the body, but just seeing in the moment, trusting that bringing your attention into this present moment. You need enough trust to fully arrive here. And once you fully arrive here, the Dhamma starts to reveal itself. So if we're a little bit present, we get a little taste of the Dhamma. If we're very present, the Dhamma is able to arise through us clearly. And often it will reveal a wisdom greater than our thoughts can come up with, greater than our imaginings. So in a way, we're getting out of the way. So the thoughts and the fears and the regrets are getting out of the way so that the truth of things can arise in us. And the more deeply we settle into the present, so you might have noticed if, being on retreat, those of you who've spent time in retreat, the more deeply the mind settles, a certain wisdom arises, certain clarity arises. We even see things differently. Physically, you look, what you see becomes brighter, clearer, more beautiful. So this is a natural result of bringing our attention fully into the present. So if you bring your attention to the present, but it's awful, then see why that is, and do the work that needs to be done. Don't worry how long it takes. It can be years, it's fine. I like to think in terms of years. Definitely not weeks or months. Don't be in a hurry. The real work, it takes time. And it's so worth it. So doing that work, you can come back to this vihara here. And it's a place of safety. No matter what's going on, it becomes a place of safety here. Presence becomes a place of safety. And the body, gets sick and ages and it's going to die one day. It'll go back to the earth. And that's the nature of the body. It's content with that. And the mind, as long as it's not running into the future and holding on to the past, the mind is free. So that's our potential. And we can glimpse it here and there. We can have moments of freedom, enough to get us really interested in the alternative to this long round of chasing after what is pleasant and running away from what is painful. And we can taste it in moments, and sometimes longer than moments. And that gives us a glimpse of what is possible. So it's the potential of everyone here to discover and strengthen and abide in, dwell in presence. And one key element of this is to be open to whatever is being experienced. So this doesn't mean that we're like a doormat and we don't have any discernment. Discernment is a part of the path. It's a wisdom quality. But we're not saying, I only want pleasant feelings and I don't want any painful feelings. That is the trap that keeps us endlessly cycling in samsara. And in the US, there's quite a strong cultural narrative around pleasant feeling, Yeah, it's got to feel good all the time. And anything that doesn't feel good is bad. So we associate a pleasant feeling with good, and we associate a painful feeling with bad. And of course, we don't want what's bad, we want what's good. But we're miscategorizing there, because a pleasant feeling is just a pleasant feeling. A feeling tone that arises, is there for a while, and it passes. And it's nice. And sometimes it's sensual, and sometimes it's what the Buddha calls unworldly, which is the beautiful feeling that arises through generosity, or through enjoying being present, or through having done a good act, or through appreciating one's ethics. This is like a good feeling that arises not through getting something, not through some thing that we have, that, or taste or touch or sight that we have for a moment until it passes. But this is a pleasant feeling that arises in a way through presence and through giving. And painful feelings or uncomfortable feelings. There's the physical uncomfortable feelings, which are kind of part of having a body. Can't really get away from that. They come and go, but they're not bad. They're actually telling us something. They're guiding us. They're warning us. Don't push too hard, or move, or change what you're doing. And they're not so painful feeling or uncomfortable feeling is also arises, it's there for a while, and then it passes. So we don't have to be afraid of them. They are what they are, a part of life. And as we get more confident in opening to things as they are, we have more space, we have more freedom. We're not constantly pushed around by the movement of the world and of our minds. So we all have this potential to understand more deeply the way we get pushed around, pushed and pulled by the world, by the ever-changing world that never rests. We invest so much in outcomes, but actually the world never rests. It's constantly changing. So finding this place of stability, of centeredness, sometimes stillness, right here, right now, in your body and mind, and taking care of that. Allowing a deeper wisdom to come through you. So I want to offer that today. And I'd like to invite any questions or comments that anyone has.
Andamayam Dhammakatayu Sadhu Karang Dharamase Sadhu 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 Anumodami. So people can feel free to stand up and stretch their legs a little bit before Q&A if they want. Also, who would like a window open to get some airflow? I'm unsure. Yes, there's some nods. Tyler, would you mind opening 2 windows, one on either side? And yeah, as Ayya noted, this is a chance for people to ask questions. So if you just raise your hand, a mic runner can get the mic to you, and just state your name and then the question. And if you're on Zoom, you can raise your electronic hand. And this is kind of a precious opportunity to actually get to ask questions of Ayya, so please take advantage.
Hello. Hi, I missed the introductions because I got here late. Are you fully enlightened, or the white robes stylistic choice?
2 things, no, and we're not allowed to tell you if you were.
Okay, so it's just like preferential. Like if I like the white robes, so if I were to
robes.
Sorry, would you?
I'm just following you now with the robe correlation. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. So is there like a prerequisite?
So the robes sort of have different symbolic meaning, and the white robe, is the white robe one enlightened? So the white robes are they represent 8 precepts. So the different robes represents different levels of precepts and so the 8 precepts is traditionally a white robe, a shaven head, and that's in the West. It's actually in most Asian countries that it depends. It's complicated. So it is an 8 precept form, and it's not necessarily a prerequisite for the next step, which is 10 precepts, which Seminary Junha is. And then there's full ordination, which both Bhante and I have. So it's not, in many Buddhist countries, it's not a prerequisite, but it can be. And in the West, often it is, just because it's a bit of a leap to go from ordinary life straight into the robes and giving up the use of money and being celibate and all of that stuff. So it's a sort of interim.
Okay, thank you. If it's okay, I think I had another question.
Can I just see if anyone else has a question first?
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. And I missed your name. My name's Ayya Anandabodhī.
My name's James.
James, thanks, James.
Can I contribute one thing?
Please.
No, it's okay. It also makes you for the full year really mindful of eating because you always spill on the white, and it's great training. Yeah.
Yes. Hello.
Right behind you, the mic.
Thank you so much for your talk. I'm blessed with being part of a number of different sanghas, and every time I have an experience like here or with Seattle Insight, I'm so grateful for the energy that we're bringing to the world. I feel like the world needs us. And my question is, I know that Buddhists don't proselytize, we don't go out and door to door and whatever. I'm wondering in the suttas and the teachings, what the Buddha said about the influence of all of us living a life of do no harm and be friendly and all of what we're taking in. So I was wondering if you could comment on that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting that the Buddha didn't encourage proselytizing. I think because the Dhamma is you either get it or you don't, And if you don't want somebody trying to ram it down your throat, But he did also send people out once they were fully enlightened. He did also send people out in the 4 directions to share the Dhamma for the benefit of the many folk. So there was the teaching that was given, and he encouraged the monastics to go out and teach to benefit, so that people can benefit from that, and also the robes. It's seen as one of the heavenly messengers. It's like there is another way. So to wear these robes, always when we're outside, when we're at home, and that people see this, and then they have an opportunity to come and ask, or to learn more. And I think about the 5 precepts. If everybody kept those precepts, imagine how the world would be. Amazing. Even one of them, but all 5. It would be amazing. And so I think that he was offering an alternative way of living, which is, beautiful and beneficial and leading to freedom, while knowing that not everyone's going to do that. That's my sense. So it's kind of like this opportunity and an offering, but not expecting that everyone's going to pick it up. Do you want to add anything? Hello, Zoomies. Nice to see you. Holly, oh, hello, Holly. I didn't see that. Hi, please go ahead with your question.
Glenn, I think you're up ahead of me.
Holly, did we turn on the speakers?
So I can't,
Yeah.
hang on a sec.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Holly. It doesn't matter. Shall I go or would you like to go? Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Ayya and Ajahn. This is Glenn here. I'm sorry I couldn't make it in person, but I wanted to ask, so if you could expand some instruction on, like, when the material from the past is traumatic and when the energies associated with it bring very, very deep, threat to one's being, survival mechanisms kick in, the mind goes completely offline because it's remembering deeply threatening states that it was in the past, and not only maybe my past, but the past of my parents and intergenerationally. How can we work with that kindly and skillfully?
Thank you, Glenn. Yeah. So there are a few things. So it's important to not be trying to dredge up the past. If you have difficulty if you have trauma in the past, which many of us have, you don't want to be trying to stir it up and find it and pull it out, because it will arise when it's kind of ready. And it can be that we start the practice with already a lot of trauma or shock in the body, and just going there isn't the right thing to do, because we get, you speak about being frozen, or sometimes we become dissociated. These things can happen. So that's why it's important to make this a place that you can come back to. So one thing that is important is to have an environment that feels safe enough. And part of that is friends, whether they're with you or, you can meet on Zoom or have a phone call or whatever. Friends are really, really important for having a sense of safety and connection. And then to check in with your actual environment. So when a trauma arises, we can be overwhelmed with the memory, and we can even smell smells from another time, or even experience ourselves being smaller if we're remembering a time that when we were young, when we were smaller. And so it's very real. It feels then that's overwhelming. And so finding ways of checking in with the present. The present is always our support. So even something like, there's the image of the Buddha touching the earth, and to literally sit in meditation with one hand touching the ground is helpful. So you're feeling the support of the ground beneath you. You're connected. You're not just in the mind and not just in the body racing, but there's a sense of connection. And it can be helpful to just have things like something that's scented, like a bit of essential oil or a leaf of something, of a herb, that brings you back into the present here. And when you can be here, you might have to be here with difficult stuff, but you're here with it. You're not there with it. And that presence. So in my experience, I dissociated a lot for years, actually, before learning not to. And it was comfortable to do that. It felt safe and comfortable. But it actually became jarring for other people. Other people found it really disturbing that I would just disappear. Pop, I'd be gone. So I realized, I kind of started to feel like a bit accountable, and I'd have to kind of come back, which felt frustrating because it was almost like a little cave I could go to that was where I didn't have to deal with stuff, but people started to notice. So learning how to come back here, and yeah, when there's presence, even the most extreme things, when there's a strength of awareness, that's what I want to put it that way. So you need to strengthen awareness. And you strengthen it with less difficult things, with ordinary things, and even pleasant things. And when the awareness is stronger, then you can pretty much sit with anything. I've been through some wild times, and then there's the of memory coming up that's very extreme, and then there's a part of the awareness that's going, it's okay, it's just the mind. And the body's racing and the mind's racing, and then it's okay. It's not, there's no danger right now. And you might need to just touch the earth, look around. And it's not going to last forever. And it's not really who and what I am. This is just something that's been held that needs to come into consciousness now. And I know it's not always true. Sometimes things are too much, but mostly even if it can be really, really on the edge, mostly they're manageable. So I've definitely had times when I've thought, it's too much, I can't bear it. And then I realized, oh, I am bearing it. And I kind of almost wish I wasn't, but I am, So then there's like, oh yeah, that's presence again. I am bearing it, and it'll change. So to strengthen the awareness and trust that it does empty out. It does clear out over time. Yeah. And there are so many very wonderful, skillful means nowadays with, therapeutic modalities, many that can work with personal trauma and also ancestral trauma. And it's pretty awesome time to live in that regard. So I really wish you well on your path of healing and transformation. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Holly, can we come back to you?
Yes. It's nice to see you and be here today. I've spent so much time selling and moving, and thank you for Clear Mountain Monastery for existing and being wonderful. And thank you, Ayya, for speaking with us here today. I had a one-on-one with Ajahn Sumedho yesterday, and one thing we talked about in meditation was pausing. And so both he and I tend to go like from one thing to the other in life. Just in our day-to-day life, we just have a difficulty pausing. We're very productive. So in meditation, that's not so helpful. So he was, he was talking to me about this release. I was bringing up that I like the manner of looking at my practice as letting go of things, as releasing things. And so he took it down to meditation as, what about taking a pause? Ajahn Sumedho had taught on this. To be with the release, to just be with that release, to be with that pause before running off to the next thing, like samadhi. It's very Bhavanga, it's like becoming. So my question for you is just for you to, if you would say some more to support me on that, in meditation, it would be helpful for me to be more with the pauses. But if I see a thought arise, then it goes, just be with noticing that it went and pausing. I'd like some supportive words on that, please. Thank you.
So it's interesting because you kind of know what to do.
That's easy.
One thing I found really helpful, so I'm not so much that way inclined, but I've had times in my life when there's been a lot of momentum forward. And what I found really helpful was first thing in the morning to get up and then to sit even 5 minutes, but longer is good, but to not go straight into the day, because that bhava energy, that becoming energy, it starts right away. It's the first thing. Okay, and and it can be enthusiastic, you know, "Hooray, all these great things," or it can feel driven. So first thing when you get up, I found helpful to sit even for 5 minutes and just feel the push of that becoming energy, to feel the push and not be pushed by it, and to breathe and feel it and settle, and ideally wait until it's calmed down, you know, and then you can still meet the day with all your energy, but with more agency, more choice. So you're not pushed around by the drivenness of great ideas or things that must be done or worries or whatever it is. So that's very helpful, I find. And then, yeah, with the pauses, they're everywhere. Pause literally is like present moment. It's always here. So, you know, Ajahn Sumedho would talk about pauses a lot, about, you know, his pauses were massive. He would have huge pause. You know, probably still does, because he was comfortable in resting in the present. So when you're comfortable to rest in the present, it sort of opens up, and then you know, whatever needs to be done, it still gets done. It arises. But until you get there, yeah, just to notice a space between thoughts. To notice the space in a room, when you come into a room, not to be immediately looking at the people, the things, the this, the that, the other. Okay, there's all that, and then there's the space around everything. And then there's the space outside, which is limitless. Limitless space outside of this room we're in right now. You know, so it's shifting your attention to the things, from the things to the space around things, or from the thoughts to the gap between thoughts. But also really helpful just to feel that push, that momentum, and lean back a little.
I think we have room for one more question. We're going to have to wrap up a little early this today.
So I had a question on taking the precepts, and thank you, Ayya, for being here. Very much appreciate it. So if you feel like you're close to being able to take them, is it good to take them and then have a bit of aspiration to keep them, or to wait until you know you can keep them?
And are you speaking about 5 precepts?
Actually, I was at a place this past week where there was 10, and I was like, "Woo!" But I had a sense that, okay, I think I can do these.
Right. Okay. The 10 precepts. So the 10 precepts not that easy to do in lay life, because one of the things you give up is money. It's maybe a different system. It's a different system. Yeah. Generally, I mean, it's funny we call them precepts because the actual wording doesn't have the word precept. It's a training. They're trainings. So if you feel inspired to take them on, then you take them on as a training, and that gives room for you know, for not always being perfect and starting again. So yeah, if I'm not quite sure what they are, the 10 precepts that you're, yes, but if you feel like, oh, that feels really what I want to aspire to that, I want to be, that would really enhance my life and my practice, yeah, take them on, definitely. And it's good to do it, you know, to have somebody witness that if you can. And then it's also good to reaffirm them regularly, weekly or every 2 weeks, to reaffirm them. And on those days you reaffirm, to check, you know, how am I doing? Where is it strong? Where is it weak? You know, and to take care of them. Yeah, great.
Thank you, Ayya. If we can get 3 big sadhus. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And sparkly clear mountain fingers. Okay. I was reminded during the talk, there's my favorite Onion article headline is woman distraught to find out present moment connected to other moments. It's a big deal to have a Bhikkhuni sister who's been in robes for 30 years. For those of you don't know, this is a kind of historic moment in a lot of ways. The Theravada Bhikkhunī Order is just reviving in different countries. I can't speak to the difficulty of being a bhikkhuni because I'm not one. It's not easy, I think, at this beginning point of the journey, and yet it has been absolutely essential to have monastics like Ayya Ānandabodhī who've been willing to step into this uncertain landscape and set an example for those who come after and revive such an important lineage. And the fact that we're here at the 30-year anniversary of Ayya being in robes is huge. And the fact that Ayya is so nearby us here in Seattle. And so, okay, so we are rarely allowed to sing happy birthday, but we are now. So happy monastic birthday. If someone could lead that round, Mom.
Happy monastic birthday to you. Happy monastic birthday to you. Monastic birthday.
You can clap.
Thank you. Well, I didn't think 30 years ago when I went forth that I would be sitting here holding a rainbow unicorn in Seattle. So I want to make a wish with these 3 candles.
Hold the unicorn for you while you, okay, we're good.
And I want to say how important it is to have good brothers. It makes all the difference in the world. I just want to say that. I think people don't realize what a huge difference it makes. And I think one of the struggles for the Bhikkhuni Sangha over these years has been a lot of monks, bhikkhus haven't welcomed us or accepted us or acknowledged our existence. And this is around the world. Even in Sri Lanka, where there's thousands of bhikkhunis, over 2,000, possibly way more than that, they are still not officially recognized by the country. And so it's very hit and miss whether you are, whether you have a place or whether you can join with other monastics and so on. It's much harder in that regard. So it's a great blessing to have these good brothers who have been so clear and who've taken a few risks, actually, because it's, you have to give something up in order, as a bhikkhu, in order to support bhikkhunis, especially in the Thai tradition. And I really honor that, Ajahn, that you have not just spoken about supporting bhikkhunis, but actually are supporting. And that's very, very precious, and it's powerful. And may many more monks feel encouraged to follow your beautiful example. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayya. And Ajahn Kovilo is visiting Bhikkhu Bodhi, but he really would have loved to be here. And
that is for both of you, yeah.
On behalf of us, we also got you this bag. It's less sparkly. You don't have to open it now. Apparently, only us Americans do that, I learned.
Looks like we've got some good Dhamma books in here.
And Kate got these. Apparently, the unicorn balloons are becoming a Clear Mountain thing. So Kate got those and made this lovely dessert. Thank you so much, Kate. And Seminary Junha, it's her 1 year going forth birthday too. Baby. And and we do recognize we usually try to wrap up at 11. So if people need to go, that's okay. But I wanted to open things up for about 6 or 7 more minutes. Those who want to just share what Ayya Anandabodhī has meant to them, please raise your hand and we'll bring a mic over you and thoroughly embarrass her as she holds a unicorn balloon. Kim first.
Thank you. So as we were practicing today, we first sat down and the moment I heard your voice, I think I have a Pavlovian response to your voice. And I've been coiled so tightly lately. And I heard your voice and it was like I was reminded that my body can be a safe place, that practice can be a safe place. And I felt just tremendous gratitude for your presence. It's palpable. And I just could feel my own foundation again through your voice. So I feel so grateful that I came today and grateful that you showed up in the Pacific Northwest, because you are just a jewel. And I'm so grateful to have landed here and have access to your teaching and your presence and your recordings, and just thanks and thanks and thanks.
I'm also very grateful for your presence here. I spent 4 months at Amaravati in 1986. It was one of the times. You may or may not know Ajahn Sumedho is my brother. And so the nuns were baby nuns. And it was Ajahn Sundar's generation. And I'm telling you as a layperson, yeah, just the gratitude for you, appreciation, because it hasn't been easy. And seeing the infancy of the Bhikkhunī Order and Ajahn Sumedho dancing as fast as he could, and the community at times pretty rough on the nuns and the Anagarikas. And so I just, from my heart, thank you for listening to your own heart and continuing your practice and having your lineage flourish. And I always love listening to your teachings. I feel very blessed also that you've come here to the Pacific Northwest. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much also for mentioning, my roots. And I want to honor my elders, Ajahn Sundara and Ajahn Chandasuri.
Yes.
And also Tanisara, who's still on the Dhamma scene very much, although not in robes. And Ayya Rochna, who I never met, she passed away before I came in, but who started the Siladra order, which gave a place, which was a community, and it was very hard in those days. It was very hard for those nuns, and they created a community, which was what attracted me to come in. I mean, I was attracted by the Dhamma, but I wanted to be in a place where there were women practicing as monastics, and they were right there. And it wasn't easy, but it was amazing. Actually, it was an amazing training, and I'm immensely grateful to them and to the Siladra community who taught me so much over the years, and also to Ajahn Sumedho, originally from Seattle.
Yes.
Who was an amazing, incredibly generous teacher, and yeah. So thank you. Yeah.
Longpur Sumedho used to be an altar boy in that church when he was 11 years old.
I wonder if he was very tall.
I just really want to tell you how much I appreciate, first of all, you being in the region and your embrace of what we might call our monks here, but also I'm constantly touched and amazed by just the compassion and just as hard as things have been, coming up as a bhikkhuni, and your lack of any sort of ill will, or you just embrace it so beautifully, and it's so inspirational. And it feels to me, I'm not sure what the reality is, but it feels to me like there's not catches. That it's just beautiful.
I can say it took a little work. And gratitude is immense. Gratitude is a powerful tool. I have immense gratitude to be able to live this monastic life. It's amazing. In the 21st century in the West, it's amazing that this is possible. And I'm also grateful that others are interested too.
Hi, Ayya. It's Katie. Just wanted to say thank you so much. And I was just reflecting on how 3 years ago, I think on this very day, I went to Ayya Vihara. And that was the first monastery I ever went to. And it just set off this huge journey for me the last 3 years. And it really, really changed my life in such positive ways that are still having huge ripple effects even now. And so that was just very, very precious for me. And I feel very grateful that that was like the first place that I went on, the first kind of Dhamma that I took. And I just I still just reflect on, especially during the winter retreat, just getting to be on that land and being with all of you, and Seminary Junha as well for a lot of that. So it feels really special that you're both here now. I never would have imagined that. So just feeling really grateful. Thank you.
This is Gary. I want to comment on two things. First of all, the very real and whole self that you bring and that you help us to look at. You had a comment today as part of your presentation that the body and mind are nature, and this notion that the mind is something else rather than an activity of this organism. The way you present, ever since the first time I met you, you present as a whole person that I really appreciate. Another piece that I appreciate, having spent all of high school among only boys, and then from there into the Navy in an era when it was all men that were around me, I know how unhealthy that environment can be. And I so appreciate the growth of the Bhikkhuni Sangha. And I also appreciate our Ajahn here and his support for it. That takes a lot of doing too. It may not be as hard as being the pioneers, but being so vocally supportive of them, that's a pioneering action itself. And we are so fortunate then for both of you being here.
Thank you. I sadhu that. Thank you.
All right, we may have to wrap stuff up, and we'll do a full-hearted sadhu together for Ayya.
Oh, okay.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And one for Seminary Junha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And once again, for those who don't know what that means, Ajahn Kovilo's Pali translation. Yeah, that was awesome. So, Ayya, we're so grateful. I can echo everything people said. And just whenever I enter your presence, there's a sense of weightlessness, and in the most beautiful way of timelessness. And the fact that we got you to hold a unicorn balloon here for the last 10 minutes is a true moment for Clear Mountain. So great. So once again, I really hope people Aya's just an hour, 15 minutes, an hour and a half away from here. I mean, it's very rare that that is the case in the world. And I really encourage people to go visit. And Ayya, please come and visit us again soon. For now, people can kind of get up and just have the meal together. Get some books. We encourage people, the first person you talk to, try to have it be someone you haven't spoken to before. I'll point out, especially again, Max here, we're trying to bring him in. And I would also talk to Jill. She's really been foundational in the founding of Aloka Vihara. And you have about half an hour to surround these three wonderful monastics and ask them tons of questions before they have to run off and have the meal. So I would take advantage of that. Anything final to say?
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
All right. For those who want to bow to the Buddha, you may, no pressure. Araham Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivade Suakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasam Supatipanno Bhagavato Sawaka Sangho Sanghang Nam. Okay, and let's wave goodbye to our Zoom friends.